Good morning.
Ready to go for
live. Man.
You already shown, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listen to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are. Good morning. Thank you, Deion Dawkins. Fist flying. Let's give a new nickname, Deion Fist. My fists are flying when we play the New York Jets. They waited till the lights went down on a TV timeout. Next thing you know, Josh Reed, he said, hey, they fighting, man. They fight. I said, where? I'm looking down in the crowd. I said, where at in the crowd, man? He said, no, George on the field, man. I looked out there. Oh, man, haymakers were being thrown, man. I said, oh, wow, they under the lights, man. Get it in, man. That was a serious game, man. It was a lot. It was more going on during TV timeout than damn near the game, man, throughout the night, man.
Right, man. I don't think those two teams like each other at all, man. Over the last couple of years, that sooner that Jets defense became what it was, it feels like they got a grudge against Josh Allen and Deion Dawkins. He stepped up for him every single time, and we saw a little bit of that fight in the TV break. But man, being there, I could only imagine what you know. You know how Deion get down.
Yeah, they waited till they walked down to our end of the field too, because they were coming from the other end. Cheerleaders out there dancing, and next you know, man, it was on the field, man. Benches emptied, man. Players, I don't know how much, if you caught it, how much they show from TV. I know they don't like showing that on TV, calling this a family program and all that, which we know it really isn't, man. It's a violent sport, and it was quite violent on Monday night. Welcome, Real Deal Sports Show, the Rad Man J-GILLZ coming to you live from the Rock Palm Broker Speakers Studios, as we do each and every Saturday morning right here on WLGZ, LGZ, HD2, the Beat 105.5, and also on YouTube. Like us, subscribe to the show. And we appreciate all the new subscribers, all my friends in Houston that subscribed while I was down in Houston. Thanks for boosting the number up of subscribers for Real Deal Sports Show and all around the country as we continue to bring you the very best there is in sports conversation. We're not telling you what we heard. We're telling you what we know right here on the Real Deal Sports Show. And J-GILLZ, we're going to go to some interviews. The guy that really impressed me the most on this Bills team so far in 2024 is Mack Hollins. This guy is watching him live is unbelievable. The moves that he reminds me of Stevie Johnson when Stevie Johnson was with the Bills. But his moves are more, you watching it, you eyeballing him, and you don't see what he's doing. And next thing you know, the defender's on the ground, man. The guy, he crossed the guy over. He crossed the guy over Monday night. It was so nasty, man. The guy next to me said, wow, did you see that? I said, yeah, the guy just dropped, man. The guy just tripped over his own feet. Matter of fact, he pulled his groin, and he didn't return for the rest of the game. The guy the Jets defender that left early in the game, DJ Reed. I tell you, DJ Reed can tell you about Mack Hollins, man, because, man, he pulled his groin trying to cover him, and, man, he did not return. He was downgraded to out, man, at the end of the first quarter of that move. But we're going to go to BacSpin. We're going to go to the interview with Mack Hollins, and let's hear him tell about. I asked him, man, what are these moves you putting on people? Because I'm watching and I still can't figure out what you're doing. Let's hear Mack Hollins, Buffalo Bills wide receiver.
What is it about your footwork on the field that allows you to shake the defender like you did tonight and last week in Houston, especially?
I'm fortunate. I've got to play with a lot of great players, whether it's Devontae Adams, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, a lot of these great guys that I've been able to pick kind of their game, watching them and talking to them, and then apply it to my game. And 8 years in, I'm able to put it into games and be successful and score touchdowns to help the team win.
And you make it look smooth, looking so easy, man. Because I know you're doing something. Because the guy fell down the night. I said, "Damn, what is he?"
Yeah,
hadn't shown you that something with the shoulder.
Yeah, that's the part of it. It's got to look easy, even though it's not. It took a lot of time to build that forward, to build that body control. Nothing comes easy, but when you make it look easy, that's just a application of a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work you put in. Obviously, you put in 8 years in the league. And wow, what's the different guys you played with, some of the receivers?
I played in Philly. It was Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffries. Then I went to Miami, Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and then I was in Vegas with Devontae Adams.
Wow.
I've been Drake London over in Atlanta. I played with a.
He played some good moves.
Yeah, and he's a young player, and I'll steal stuff from young guys too. Shoot, if you got something good, I'll take it.
All All right.
Yeah.
What's the key for this team, this young team here?
I think consistency and building off of each game. The more you can build off it and learn and grow, the better you'll be.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you have it. That was Mac Hollins after the game Monday night in the Meadowlands, and that's why the pro football writers, you have to be in the locker room after the games. They shouldn't. Well, hopefully, they won't take that away from the ongoing agreement with the NFL Players Association, because we get firsthand knowledge of firsthand. I didn't realize he played with that many star receivers, J-GILLZ.
Man, Radman, he said it best. We talk about the 8 years that he done played in the league. We don't know. I haven't seen Mac Hollins many years, as he mentioned, with the Miami Dolphins, and he was making big plays after big plays, even in his time with Ryan Fitzpatrick playing quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I remember that one game in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Somebody snatched Fitzmagic face mask. He threw it up. Who comes down with it? Mac Hollins, just to win the game in the last minute of the game. He's always been a great player. We see him each and every year in Super Bowl week, walking around barefoot. He's his own type of guy. He got his own philosophy, but it's been working for him. And I think that Mac Hollins definitely is a great piece in addition this year for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, and he's becoming a safety valve, a very reliable receiver for Josh Allen. And now that you add in Amari Cooper, who's an outstanding receiver who runs excellent routes as well. These two guys run excellent routes. They can get open. They can make moves, and both of them can get open. So definitely Amari Cooper, I think, in the coming weeks for him. But Mac Hollins has been doing it from day one with the Buffalo Bills so far. And let's go to the defense side of the ball in that Meadowlands battle. Daquan Jones had a hell of a game. And let's go, BacSpin. We're going to go to Daquan Jones and hear what he had to say about Monday night's game.
We can still be better too. We have some runs leak out, and we know we can be better there, and up front definitely make those plays and be a factor on those. So just go back to the tape and see what we can learn from that and grow from there, and bring it on to next week.
Two huge.
I mean, I'll give a lot of credit to TB to kind of go out there and he calling the call, make sure we're all on the same page, and really communicate before the ball snaps. So he did a great job out there in the red zone, make sure we're on the same page, and it's really just coming down and doing our job.
It seems like the longer you guys play, the better you perform on the field. Mm-hmm. Is it that the young guys just got to calm them down and get them relaxed after that first drive, after the first series of the game?
I really can't speak for them. I just know for myself is when you come out there and you see what they're actually doing, and you kind of adjust to it. Second quarter or even halftime to see what they're doing, and I think that's kind of like how it goes. You know what I'm saying? We expect one thing from them to do. They came out and kind of changed up a little bit and just adjusted to it. And then I thought we kind of got in a groove there.
Was it that run game? You guys seem to adjust to how they was running that power sweep?
Yeah, I mean, they came in and ran a couple run plays that we didn't anticipate them doing, and they did it and kind of just adjusted to that. And I thought for the most part we did a job. Again, I think some got through, and we can definitely fix those up front and in the front seven. And just got to watch the tape and see what we can do better.
And then last but not least, on the pass rush, seemed like you guys wore them down as the game went on. It seemed like the rush got better and better.
Yeah, I feel like we started hitting our stride a little bit in the second half, and you can kind of feel what they're doing. And I think again, some of those we can definitely get home and hit them a little more. So just curious to see what they were doing and how we can learn and grow from that.
There you have it. That was Daquan Jones, who doesn't talk a whole lot, but his action speaks louder than words. J-GILLZ. He was in that middle manhandling people Monday night.
Oh, definitely. Gave Aaron Rodgers a run for his money. And the Bills defense, man, I think they have to get a little more credit than what it's due. A lot of Bills Mafia been coming at those fellas, you know what I mean? But I think that they actually have been playing a decent season, making big plays. They were missing pieces, obviously. Look what happens when Tyron Johnson comes back, one of the best slot cornerbacks in the league. So, game-sealing interception. We have to give the credit where credit is due. I think you just have to hang with them. It's not a bend or break defense. It's about making the right plays. And we saw Damar Hamlin make a right play a couple weeks ago. We saw Tyron Johnson make the right play just on Monday night. So just ease with it. It's the first quarter of the season. There's still some time left. Let's see what else they got. Let's see what else they can do.
Yeah, they'll make mistakes because they have young guys back there. That Hail Mary was a big mistake. You got to knock the ball down. I mean, you taught that in Little League. Just put your fist in there, punch the ball down. They let Allen Lazard out jump him, and you're supposed to go up there and knock that ball, hit Allen Lazard's hands. They didn't even hit his hands at all. They just went up there and he just took the ball and came down with it. which that was right in front of us too, right in our end zone there at our end of the press box. Looking right at it, I said, man, he let this guy catch the ball. Man. You're supposed to knock it down. That's the safety's fault. They're young. They're trying to improve. I think Terrell Burgess is on injured reserve. Kareem Jackson. They got 2 veteran guys. They may get a look in these coming weeks to give those guys a shot. Because DeMar Hamlin, I like him. Great story. He's just not that good, man. He's just not.
Not to be starting. Not to be starting. Not at all.
No.
Special teams. Even he had that blunder last year on special teams, so even that can't even make a case for that. But nah, he's a good depth piece. He knows the system inside and out, but he definitely shouldn't be a starter back there.
No, he's more reactive. Once a play is made in front of him, he reacts. He's not there to knock the ball down. He's there to make the tackle or the game-saving tackle or something. But he's not. Yeah, because I'm watching him week in and week out, and he's definitely not a starter. Tyler Bishop, the man, not Cole Bishop, but the man running around there just leaping with his head off, just hitting people. I don't know how long that safety is going to last.
Taylor Rapp.
Thank you, Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp, man. I mean, hell of a hit in the end zone of Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was feeling that in the locker room, man. You can see he was. Watch Garrett Wilson may not have a big game on tomorrow night, Sunday night, because he was in that locker room, came out of the medical area and was sitting at his stool, and he was saying they were telling him, "Hey, you got to go to the podium." Man, he wasn't going anywhere, man. He was on that stool, holding his ribs, and just you could just see the look on his face. He wasn't feeling that well at all. He took his time getting dressed. Same the 40-year-old man, Aaron Rodgers, was sitting on his stool. He couldn't hardly put his shirt on, man. The man, I said, this is what it looked like to be 40 years old in the National Football League, taking hits.
But watching that game, Aaron Rodgers, man, he's a pro. He's a vet. He had no reason throwing the ball where he was throwing, getting his receivers beat up. I mean, left and right. You know what I mean? I saw that over the middle when Taylor Rapp basically knocked out Garrett Wilson. I mean, he made the catch, but you can't be throwing the ball right there and expecting your guys to hang on to that. But shout out to Gary. He had an excellent touchdown in that first quarter there, putting over with that toe tap right in the end zone. That was good. But Aaron Rodgers' ball placement is just something that's off about Aaron Rodgers. We're going to see if Devontae Adams can fix that problem. Let's see if they can regain that old chemistry. You add in Breece Hall and the Braylon Allen and the Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard still there. So hopefully he can be a little bit more cerebral with the ball instead of getting his guys knocked out, expecting them to make miraculous plays down the field left and right. It's not going to happen every week. So Aaron Rodgers, this is about the time. You got Monday night, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to see that one. I think that's going to be a good game, George.
I think so. It's going to be an excellent game. It's going to be could be the turning point of the Jets season because you're right. Rodgers can get the ball to the guys, but the guys he's been playing with, they're not used to running good routes. Now, Devontae Adams can run that route. He can throw the ball, and when Devontae Adams turns, the ball is there. He's used to seeing the ball on his way to him or right there where he can turn and he make the adjustment and make the catch. Garrett Wilson and them haven't really played with a quarterback of this stature in the National Football League, the guys so far. So Garrett Wilson, they ran those screens, the bubble screens and the short 3-yard passes over the middle. He was making them early in the game. The Bills made adjustments, as Daquan Jones was saying in the interview, that the Bills always make adjustments at halftime or during the game on the sideline, and they took away that short stuff of Garrett Wilson catching over the middle. He had to go deeper down the field, and when he did, that's when he was open. He got in the seam where he was supposed to be. But Taylor Rapp was there too, and man, I mean, he nailed him, and he also nailed a tight end too, and right in the middle of the field, the tight end went up to catch the ball. Oh man, that guy had all kinds of marks on his back, man. And when you see these guys and see how people, you don't realize how beat up these guys are after a National Football League game, especially a violent one like what took place at the Meadowlands on Monday night, and it was very windy. I couldn't even get out my car. I tried to open the car door. The wind kept slamming the door shut. I had to use my foot just to kick the door open long enough so I could get out. That's how intense the wind was blowing at the Meadowlands on Monday night. It was a heavy wind. I don't fault either kicker for missing those field goals because it was dicey, man. You can't judge a kicker just on Monday night because the elements was really bad. I don't know on TV how it looked. But in person, it was a hell of a win, man. It took your breath away, man. You had to cover up just to get in the door to the media line to get into the stadium the door was propped open because the wind, you couldn't even open it because the wind, you had to hold it like it was a steel door and push back on it just to get into the doggone stadium, man. I mean, it was an intense win. So those two kickers, I don't fault them on those games. Yeah. The Bills bring in a kicker that looked like, according to the statistics, worse than Taylor than what we got. I mean, this guy 15 or 20. This guy they bringing in from the Rams. He's on the practice squad. Man, come on, keep him on. I think they just brought somebody in there just for show. They know Taylor Bass. They're gonna live and die with Taylor Bass this season.
That's good insight. That's excellent insight, Radman. Because watching the game, especially hearing the commentation, there was no indication of the wind being that bad. Basically, they were making it sound like these are chip shots that these kickers were just missing. So that's great insight right there. I didn't know that the wind was that heavy, but obviously in the Meadowlands, you already know how it is in Jersey. Man, especially where the stadium is specifically, I know that wind was probably going 20, 30 miles per hour.
It was, and it was cutting across too. It was real going across at a weird angle too. So that made it even worse. And hey, disc jockey Nene, thank you for listening to being on, checking out, listening live on the radio to Real Deal Sports Show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Go Bills. She agreed with our comments so far. Thank you so much. If you agree or disagree, hey, you can put your comments up online or on the website as well. Facebook, YouTube, like us, subscribe to the show. And our next interview coming up is with Dwayne Carter. Dwayne Carter is quietly having a very good season so far. And BacSpin, if we could go with the Dwayne Carter, also known as DC, the young man out of Duke, number 90 on the Bills defensive front.
How's training camp going for you so far?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously adjusting and getting used to the NFL game speed, NFL gameplay, but I think it's going pretty well. I'm learning a lot, and the guys are pouring into me.
Okay, how's the speed of the game so far for you?
Yeah, I think you can talk about mini camp and OTAs and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That kind of got me a taste of what it was going to be. So when I got out here, honestly, it wasn't really that much of a difference. Okay. It's just when you talk about game speed, a lot of it isn't.
Very good. I thought this was your best game as a Buffalo Bill so far. I thought 2 weeks ago you're good. Each week it seems like you're gaining more and more confidence and making more and more plays. How did it go out there today?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the goal, especially my first year coming in. As a rookie, you want to get better every single day. And it starts with, I have great coaches. I have a great staff who continues to teach us the game and learn. But also you talk about teammates. I'm not just talking to guys in the D-line room. You talk about our linebackers, our safeties, our corners. They just all continue to uplift me and build me up and, continue to reassure me I'm ready for the moment. I'm prepared.
First play of the game, the screen. Tell me what you saw. You snuffed it out.
Yeah, in film study, past a week, we're scouting them, and of course, self-scouting. Last week, obviously, Baltimore got after us a little bit with screen and draw, so we know it's going to show up early. Maybe not the first play, but we worked a lot on our screen keys and run keys and just, doing your job. And so that's really what I did. I read my key, guard set kind of soft, and he kind of just passed me by. My next job was find it back, and then, luckily I got him down.
Your technique, you seem very good at sliding off the block and going to the right. Is that a technique you've been working on, or is it just?
Yeah, it's just you talk about the finish. We all talk about the finish, and Coach West always talks about the finish on drills. Whether we're walking through our steps, whatever it is, you talk about the finish. And we have a saying, the fight just starts once you make contact, and after that, you got to finish the play. So that's really where that stems from.
Absolutely. They talk about the finish, and that's what DC does best. Dwayne Carter, number 90, keep an eye on him. He's making some excellent plays on that defensive front. He was talking basically about that Houston game. That was right after the Houston game. Hell of a game he played in Houston, and he also continues to be consistent, played very well this past week at the Meadowlands. And we're going to go to another gentleman that's playing quite well, and that's Dwayne Smoot. Dwayne Smoot is doing quite well, number 94 on the Bills defensive front. He's an edge rusher. Let's hear from what Dwayne Smoot had to say about that strip sack he had on C.J. Stroud recently.
Can you take us back on the tip play? You tipped the ball out of the hand of Stroud there late in the game.
Yeah, they run the same formation earlier on in the game when they ended up getting that touchdown. I knew it was going to be a pass, so I just attacked it. I knew he was a rookie, so he was going to go for a little bite moves. Gave him a bite move, bowled him, and he just ended up being right there. I saw the ball, went for it.
You ever make the tackle?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it where you could still see his rookiness? You mentioned rookiness of him being young and still learning the game.
Still learning the game. He followed. Rookies, they're just gonna follow your feet wherever you go. So I hit him with a bite inside, got him soft inside shoulder, and I was able to get inside.
That's a veteran. That's your years of experience.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. And what else did you see out there today from him? Did they surprise you with anything that you saw on film during the week? Was it
not really at all. I mean, once we got settled in, a half they only had 6 points. So I mean, once we got settled in and we just calmed down, we was able to stop them. So.
And you guys really stopped the run. You did a really good job on them. Even though they didn't have their starting running backs, you stopped their guys that they had, and it seemed like what you felt was the difference today.
The difference was, that was big plays. They had a couple big plays, and that was really the determining factor. That big long touchdown, that kind of put the momentum their way before half. And we came back out after half, and we just rode off our momentum, and we put it close. We gave ourselves a chance. So
you sure did. And for yourself, you came in, missed the first couple of games due to injury. How do you feel? You get your legs now?
For sure.
Season legs now?
Yeah, I'm getting back. It kind of takes a while, Still the pros, it's tough to get, out and right back in, but definitely feeling the groove when I'm getting back for sure.
All right, where do we go from here for next week with the Jets coming up?
We're looking for a win. We got to get off that losing streak and go for that win. That's it. Come back to practice and work.
There you go.
There you have it, Dwayne Smoot, veteran, 8-year veteran, Dwayne Smoot. Man, he's coming. He's now gotten his legs back, and he's playing very well at a high level for the Buffalo Bills, forcing the issue, putting pressure on the quarterbacks. You saw against the Jets, A.J. Espinosa was able to make moves as well because Smoot, they had to double team Smoot on the other side. Dwayne Smoot is playing quite well. He came over as a free agent from the Jacksonville Jaguars after being with the Jaguars. He's been playing for the Bills, missed the first 2 games because of the oblique injury, but now he seems to be rounding into form, J-GILLZ. And now with Teron Johnson coming back, you don't realize how much you missed Teron Johnson until you saw him out there, and then he made that big play at the end. He always come up with a big play somewhere during the game, and he didn't let us down Monday night with that big interception at the end of the game. What's your comment on the Bills defense starting to come back, getting their guys back and starting to round into form?
I think right now it's good to see, right, man? Especially, looking at these next couple of offenses. I think that right now, the Buffalo Bills right now, they need to start getting that chemistry together. And I think they can continue to gain that momentum against the Tennessee Titans and that woeful offense led by Will Levis and company. I believe Calvin Ridley only got about 9 catches on the season, and we about 6-7 games in. So when you talking about that, I think that now was a good time because Lord knows the rest of this season you got some tough offenses. You got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you got a lot. You still got the Dolphins with Tua back, Kansas City, so and of course Detroit Lions. So I think right now is the time to just continue to just stay positive, continue to keep things going.
Absolutely. He's playing very well. And then Von Miller comes back for the Seattle game. This will be his last game that he'll be out. He'll be eligible to play next week against the Seattle Seahawks. So if Von Miller can get himself back in line the way he's looking like he's starting to become, at least we see in shadows and images of the old Von Miller before the suspension. So if he can round into any type of form, and with the guys the way they're playing now, this defense can be very formidable down the stretch, J-GILLZ.
Definitely potential. That's a lot of faith you got in Von Miller. I'm just not as sold on Von Miller. It's to me, he's past his prime, right, man. I don't know what it's going to be, whether it's him beating on women or taking PEDs. We don't condone either. It just hasn't resonated on the field. The one time they did call his name, that's because my man slipped on the ground, man. Week 1, Kyler Murray, he slipped on his own lineman. They thought it was a sack. Nah, man. So I'm not sold on Big Dog, but definitely not.
Well, not being sold on him, but if he can play and they can slide a double team, that'll open up for other guys. If he's getting that type of respect on the field, that will open it up for the A.J. Espinosas, Dwayne Smoots, and Javon Solomon. Get Javon Solomon as well in there. That'll help with those guys. Getting those guys going and making things happen with Solomon, because Javon Solomon's playing quite well also. On the offensive side, if Ray Davis, if he's not able to go this week, I think you might see Frank Gore Jr. You might see a signing of Frank Gore Jr. to go along with Cook, and also going Ty Johnson, who's having an excellent season as well. Ty Johnson can run inside the tackle, run Cook outside. You don't need to run Cook inside. Run him outside a little more. What do you think, J-GILLZ?
Absolutely. When I saw the first drive for against the New York Jets, that 12 personnel, having Kincaid, having Dawson Knox out there. I mean, they were just running. They was gutting the New York Jets, and I think that they should have stuck with that philosophy, move forward. Ultimately, they did win the game, but that physical brand of football that has been absent, in my opinion, from the Buffalo Bills these last couple of seasons. Now that they got a good guy like a Dalton Kincaid and can go in that 12 big package personnel and really start running the rock, they got the guys to do it. Man, Ray Davis has been just a tremendous addition. James Cook. And then, of course, Frank Gore Jr. just got him on the practice squad, just sit back there lurking. So I think that right now, if they could continue that physicality, that offense will definitely carry him a long way. And you got a big guy like Amari Cooper, who is as great as an addition he is with running those slot routes and not dropping the ball. He doesn't drop many passes, at least in the back in the day he did. But his just physicality as a blocker, you know what I mean? What he's going to do, him and Matt Collins in the run game, blocking receivers, that's going to open up the doors even more for him. So I think just adding a guy like Amari is going to be even better to that run game moving forward.
Yes, definitely. And man, for $800,000, because the Cleveland had already fronted his money at the beginning of the season, so he already got paid for this season, really, for his $20 million that he was getting per season by the Cleveland Browns. He already got that at the beginning of the season. They gave it to him as a bonus. So, man, that made him really good for trade options. And I tell you one thing about Brandon Beane. I may not like every move he makes, but he doesn't sit back and wait. This guy makes moves, good or bad. The guy makes moves, and I think this is a very good move to get him for only $800,000 a receiver of his caliber. And as the Michael Irvin, former Dallas Cowboy and TV personality, Michael Irvin was saying, he said, boy, the Bills just picked up a quiet Stephon Diggs. they said the guy, he said they're pretty much equal in what their production on the field, but this guy is quiet. He doesn't say much. You don't really notice him. He just does his talking on the football field, J-GILLZ.
Oh yeah.
Thought that was interesting. And we got one last interview from the Bills. A rookie guy that they picked up off of the Atlanta Falcons practice squad 2 weeks ago, Zion Loeb. He's a two-time champion with the Georgia Bulldogs. Started on that defensive front for them, and the Bills were fortunate to pick him up. That's another Brandon Beane move that I like, picking this young man up. Let's hear what he has to say about joining the Buffalo Bills in mid-season. I think that's coming up. BacSpin, that Zion Loeb interview. Big defensive guy, in tackle, can play in or in the nose guard position. Playing very well for the Buffalo Bills so far. So number 97, keep an eye out on 97 as you watch the game tomorrow afternoon, the Bills versus the Tennessee Titans. Check out Zion Loeb and check out
championship.
It was great.
What, 2 years? How many years?
Yes, sir.
You got two championship games?
Yes, sir. It was great. Playing with some of my childhood best friends, being able to make our dreams come true, and just playing on high stage like that.
Yeah, I see a lot of you guys are being successful in the National Football League as
Yes,
well.
sir. Yes, sir.
Great. All right. Well, look forward to checking you out here in Buffalo again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
And that was Zion Loeb. My bad on that one there. We caught a portion of his interview there. But Zion was saying the Bills brought him in and brought him in for his ability to learn this defense. They feel that's a guy they were high on in the draft. He was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, but they put him on the practice squad, and the Bills were fortunate to pick him up a couple of weeks ago. And they started him right away. It's rare that Brandon Beane starts a player that they pick up in midweek on their D. He replaced Ed Oliver 2 weeks ago, and that was an excellent pickup. So keep an eye on this young man. This young man's a good.
She also tagged next week on the show.
This man's a very good player that can make things happen on the front for the Buffalo Bills. So keep an eye out on him. This guy can get the job done. Zion Loeb, number 97. And this segment of the show was brought to you by award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, area code 585-360-0094.
So we got a full.
That's 360-0094, area code 585-511 Bean Road, Suite B. Award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. And also Challenger Community News, West New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, the challengernews.com. Give us a call at 585-766-3590 for advertising opportunities. Or if you need articles sent in to run at free of charge in Challenger Community News, editor at the Challenger News, news.com. Editor at challengernews.com. And last but not least, we got I think our most recent newest advertiser with us, MJ Dispensary, located at the Genesee Regional Market, 900 Jefferson Road, Suite 902. Their Halloween event coming up on Saturday, October 26th at noon till 6 p.m. Vendors, food trucks, DJs, costumes, contests, and more. Open 7 days a week. MJ Dispensary, located at the Genesee Regional Market, 900 Jefferson Road, Suite 902. They got a big Halloween event on Saturday, October 26th. So it's going to be Halloween, W-E-E-D, Halloween event on Saturday, October 26th, noon till 6 p.m. Vendors, food trucks, DJs, costumes, contests, and much more. Open 7 days a week. Check our friends out at MJ Dispensary, J-GILLZ.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. And what happened to J-GILLZ? We're going to jump into WNBA. What happened with the WNBA action?
Oh, man, just a great game. Sabrina Escu, game 3 against the Seattle Storm, just was able to clinch that right there in Seattle. So right now, man, this WNBA Finals has definitely been one for the books, right, man? This is going 5 games, and it's been great all the way around. So I think that, only time will tell. We got the big time Game 5 series matchup tomorrow, 8 p.m. on ESPN. Series tied 2-2, and it's going to be one winner. I mean, we've been calling for the Liberty to win this championship for the last 3 seasons, as Aja Wilson and the Vegas Aces have been in their way. They were able to eliminate them in the second round. So will they be able to finally clinch this championship, or will the Minnesota Lynx be able to get it done?
It's been a good series. It's been not following it's been very close battles each game. The Liberty, everybody thought the Liberty would walk right over them, but over the Lynx. But the Lynx has been, they've been battling game in, especially from game 1. They set the tone with game 1, coming back from that 15 points down and winning that game 1 in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center there. That really set the tone for this series. And it's been it's been a very great. You can't ask for more from a championship series, can you, J-GILLZ?
Absolutely not. And when I covered this team earlier on in the season, and I saw just the amount of depth that they had, Jonquel Jones, and obviously the GOAT in most opinions right here from this area, Breanna Stewart, I knew that this team was going to be special. I didn't think that this series would even go this far. So when it comes to Minnesota and the Defensive Player of the Year, Miss Collier, we happen to give them credit as well, where credit is due. But George, I think in more even impressing WNBA news, Caitlin Clark being the first team on the first team team. How do you feel about that? I mean, she didn't even make the Olympic team, but you got the young lady on the first team for the WNBA. How do you feel about her making that first team?
Well, that's a good point. I think she helped the league out significantly. She played very well, and she was critical in making that team that has been a doormat of the league for so long, relevant. She made it relevant. She made the league relevant. Heck, she helped make the league relevant. So I go, yes, she deserves being on that team and being one of the starting players, because she had such a hell of a year, helped bringing that league up. And I think with the injury with Reese, Angel Reese, with the injury, kind of obviously sidelined her for the end of the season. She was excellent. Obviously, the rookies of the year and the rookie team, all rookie team, no doubt they're on that team. But Caitlin Clark, I say yes. I think she deserved it. She earned it. She earned the respect of her teammate, and also for this league, to make this league relevant. You got to, hey, she's people coming to see her, and she's not disappointing. She's breaking records for that league and making that league, even the WNBA, even more relevant. And overall, what that means is it's making more money for all the players within the WNBA. So I think, yes, she should have been on, and rightly so, one of the top 5 players. How about yourself, J-GILLZ?
I do. Obviously, she plays the position of a point guard. So, you know, when it comes to the guard, she's definitely one of the top guards in the league. However, I look at a girl like Jonquel Jones, and I thought really that Jonquel was snubbed of being a first-teamer. Jonquel just probably one of the most dominant bigs in the league outside of Aja Wilson. So, for her not to make the first team, to me, that was a bit surprising. But you only got 5 positions. We've seen it happen year in and year out with centers in the NBA. You know what I mean? How many times have Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic should have made first team, but it just doesn't happen all the way. So that was my only surprise right there, Jonquel being named the second teamer. I thought for sure she would have been first.
That's a good point. That's very good, and that's how it goes. And then you also have that six person award that they could create, like the NBA has, to add on at least one more player. Because, like you said, it's only 5 positions. Somebody's going to get snubbed year in and year out, and that player you just named, she's definitely rightly should have been right there. I don't know if they have. Obviously, they didn't think about having a tie or making that 6 person say, hey, adding one extra person. I think that would have been fine too, because you had such. I mean, the game is just so exploded. It seems in this year with talent this season, and I think the next 3-4 years they're going to add more and more talent to the league, and this league is going to be even more relevant. And with the New York Liberty and the Lynx and the Minnesota Lynx playing such a dramatic series, I think this is going to bode well for the WNBA for years to come, because people eyeballing it. You got Game 5, you got the Game 7, the championship game, winner take all, this coming Sunday night at 8 p.m. Check your local listings for the channel that game is going to be on. I believe it's going to be on ESPN. But make sure, don't doubt me, correct me if I'm wrong, because man, these games are all over. They got baseball all over the place. Hard to find. That's ridiculous trying to find where the baseball game is. But that's another story. WNBA Sunday night, I believe it's ESPN at 8 p.m. And that's a good time. Sunday night, going up against the Steelers and the Jets. That's a good time for that game, because I know I'm going to be turning away from that one, the Jets and the Steelers, to see something up and see women's basketball played at the highest level. Looking forward to that, to the final game. And who do you think going to win this game on Sunday night, J-GILLZ?
I think the New York Liberty, I think it's their time. I think they'll definitely pull away.
Okay. You think the Liberty going? Yeah, everybody. It's funny. Everybody's been saying that. Even the people that watch the games and follow, everybody's been saying the Liberty's going to pull away, but they haven't pulled away yet. It seems like every time I turn the game on, it's a cat fight. Either one of the team is coming back from 15 down, or it's like a 3-4 point game. Because the guys last night were saying, "Oh, this is gonna be a blood. Liberty gonna finish them off tonight." I said, "Oh,
to the 80, right?"
Yeah, and the spread was like -4. It was the Lynx was getting 4 points last night. Oh, the Liberty gonna blow. So I know a lot of people bet on the Liberty last night, and I know they disappointed this morning. Because boy, in every game they keep saying the Liberty's gonna blow the Lynx out, but the Lynx hang in there. And I like to see the Lynx in the upset winner. I think they can win it, because the way they've been playing, the way they obviously the Liberty is the better team on paper, but when they get on that floor, those Lynx girls, they not scared of the Liberty at all. They feel they just as good as they are, and they playing some hell of a it's some really good basketball. I've been enjoying the last three games, really almost the entire series. I did catch the end of the first game. So I have been catching this series, and it's getting me to become a WNBA fan, J-GILLZ. I think you think this is going to bode well for the league in the future? You think this series?
Oh, yeah. I think that this whole season is going to bode well for the teams. As impactful as this series has been, I look at this season and just look at the influx of rookies. You know, this rookie class is probably – we're in that generation, right, man, where social media is just king. Marketing, you still have NIL. You know, you got a lot of young people making money. So for those young ladies to have those huge NIL deals and then come into the league with that name, that image, and that likeness, that's blustered the team so well. I mean, not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Portland is going to be starting their franchise even as close as this next season. Either Portland or Golden State, but it's a new franchise coming to the WNBA next season. That's how elite and that's how much income that the league has had. So I think that and it's going to give a lot more young ladies an opportunity to play in the league, because you got to look at Rochester's own Deja Fair, got drafted by the Las Vegas Aces, wasn't able to ultimately play in the season. I think she's overseas now, but having that other franchise, that's another 10, 12 spots for these young ladies to hoop. Sierra Dillard and all of these young Rochester ladies who have just been phenomenal athletes. So it's gonna make the opportunities even more abundant, and I think that the WNBA has definitely a resurgence, and they'll be around for a long, long time.
Yes, indeed, they certainly will be. And speaking of young people, the young guys are doing well with the football season. Monroe had a big win last night out at Greece Athena, big blowout win. So as we wind down with the high school football season, we're going to have more and more updates on the high school Section 5 races. Only 2 weeks left. Believe it or not, it's only two weeks left in the high school season, J-GILLZ. How do you think it's shaping up?
Oh, man, just to go to the Red Jackets for sure. Definitely got to shout them out. That was a huge, huge win, blowout win against Greece Athena. And seeding purposes, these last couple of games against Arcadia, against Athena have been phenomenal. When you look at this season for them, their first season up into Class A, and for them to have that record that they have, I believe they're sitting at 4-2. Just phenomenal. The only 2 losses came from a Canandaigua program that's been dominant from the start. I mean, when you talk about in Canandaigua, that program has been dominant for years, and then obviously losing the East at the Tree game, in which they were up 14-6. They could have easily won that game. So to go almost undefeated in your first time in Class A with a new quarterback. Obviously, Terrell Cunningham Jr., 10th grader, playing quarterback for his first time since their last quarterback had went on to, he graduated. But just what they have, what Coach Cunningham has put together in the program that they have is phenomenal. I think that for sure I want to start there, the Red Jackets, and for years to come, they'll be great.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think you're right. They got a really solid program over there at Monroe. East continues to be a very good team. So our Rochester City School District team, City of Rochester teams continue to do very well and provide us with some good talent year round now with all the various sports, not only football, but basketball, and then also in the volleyball, baseball, and girls softball seasons throughout. And we always have Marquel Slaughter. He'll be back on, or James Johnson from both of those guys from the Democrat and Chronicle newspaper will join us in the coming weeks to keep us abreast of the upcoming sectionals and where we are with that. And Aquinas continues to play hard as well. Aquinas took care of Russian Rieta 50-24. That was a tough game right there for Aquinas. Aquinas 50, Russian Rieta 24. Hilton continues to play good football. There's a lot of good action out there, so you look forward to seeing it. Get out there, get out. It's a nice weather today. If it's some high school games going on, get on out there, see some games while we still have this beautiful weather to keep us up to what's going on in the Section 5 sports. MLB, Major League Baseball, the Yankees came back last night for an 8-6 win to go up 3-1 in the series against the Cleveland Guardians. That was another dramatic. The Yankees just have the Cleveland Guardians number. The Guardians just can't seem to defeat the Yankees consistently. They always seem to win one game, 1 or 2 games, but they never seem to win the series against them. That's look like the Yankees and Dodgers are on a collision course for the 2 biggest markets to be in the World Series. We haven't had this in a long time, J-GILLZ. The New York Yankees versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. As the Dodgers took a beatdown last night from the Mets, 12-6. But the Mets have been taking a beatdown consistently from the Dodgers most of this week. 3-2. The series goes back out to LA for Game 6 on Sunday evening. The Mets, the Mets got beat down a few times this week. Mookie Betts, to me, is the best player in baseball. This man, it just gets it done with his bat. He hits home runs. He plays great defense out in the outfield, steals bases. And then you got the nerve to have Ohtani, who they consider the best player right now in baseball. I mean, the Dodgers are just simply loaded, J-GILLZ.
Oh, yeah.
They're almost like the Lakers of back in the day of the Showtime era. Man, I mean, these guys just get out there and play some ball. And then about Max Muncy, guys at the bottom of their lineup hitting the ball, making big plays. So I'm looking at yes.
Who's your pick to win it all this year? I know this series is coming up. I mean, it's that time of the year. We're in October, November. Who are you gonna pick to win it all? It's not too premature yet.
I'm picking the LA Dodgers to win it with Mookie Betts being the MVP of the series because he's playing great ball, consistent ball. And when the playoffs come, Mookie Betts always right. He reminds me of Reggie Jackson. He plays all right during the regular season, but then all of a sudden he raises his game in the postseason. Unlike Reggie Jackson, Mookie Betts been consistent throughout. When he's healthy, the Dodgers are no matter. He won a World Series with the Boston Red Sox back in 2018. He won one with the Dodgers in 2021 or 2020, and now he looked like he's ready to lead the Dodgers to win his third World Series championship, to help win a third World Series championship. Mookie Betts is the real deal. This guy can play some baseball. He's a guy you want to build your team around. He can do it all. He hits for power. He hits home runs. He hits doubles, singles. And in the outfield, he makes great plays. Not only in the outfield, he can play second, short, and third base too. He done played almost all positions except for pitcher for the LA Dodgers at one time or another. This guy is just the real deal. He plays multiple positions. He can make things happen on the diamond. So I have the LA Dodgers winning it over the New York Yankees with Mookie Betts being named the MVP. Ohtani doing well. Aaron Judge show up. Giancarlo Stanton starting to show up. But I think when he gets into the big series against the Dodgers, we won't hear too much from Giancarlo Stanton because that guy always seems that when it's against a really team that they're gonna have trouble with, he don't seem to show up. Giancarlo Stanton. So I think that'll be some of the differences. And the Yankees bullpen is a little bit shaky. I think the Dodgers will take advantage of that and win that series. With the few minutes we have left, let's go to our NFL predictions for this week. We got Atlanta at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle at Atlanta. Seattle getting 3. The Atlanta coming off the bye week. I like the Falcons because the Seattle's defense, they missing a lot of people on their offense and defensive line. I was amazed. Look at the injuries, J-GILLZ. There's an awful lot of injuries, and the NFL still got the nerve to play Thursday night. That Thursday night game, let's take a step back. The New Orleans Saints versus the Denver Broncos, that was an insult to football fans. New Orleans is a depleted lineup, and you making them play on a Thursday instead of allowing them to play on Sunday like they normally do. And they were playing with almost like a college team out there. And they wore it's funny, they were wearing the old Saints uniforms when they were the Aints back in the day. So I thought that was kind of curious they chose to wear those uniforms. I remember those uniforms, I'm getting up in age because I remember those uniforms, man. Archie Manning was quarterback of the New Orleans Saints when they wore those jimmies, the gold numbers. They look slick. I always liked how they look, but they weren't a good franchise, and they definitely wasn't a good football team Thursday night, man. 33-3. Oh, come on, man. They had to go with 2 unknown quarterbacks. That Spencer Rattler is everything they said. He looks good. He'll throw you a touchdown and then turn right around and turn the ball over on the very next series, man. Man, he is who they said he was in the draft. The next guy came. I'm surprised the guy who came in at the end. They should have started him because he played the previous game when Derek when the regular quarterback was injured against Kansas City. He came in and did pretty well at the end of the game in the Kansas City game. I was surprised they went and they moved Rattler over this guy for the game Thursday night. That's why
we got to start. We got to win these folks some money, Rad, man. Come on, we got to win them some money now.
All right, I'm taking Seattle to cover I'm taking Atlanta to cover the 3 against Seattle. So that's what you get. What you like?
I like Atlanta as well.
I'm staying away from the Bills covering the 10. The Bills always seem to have trouble after they have a big game. They always seem to have a little struggle. Their Bills will win the game, but I don't know about covering that 10 points, especially if Mason Rudolph is out there quarterback, and I think he'll find a way to get the ball to Calvin Ridley.
Oh man! Every time the Tennessee Titans are in Buffalo, it don't matter if you had Tannehill. It don't matter if you had Derrick Henry. They always get blown out. Give me the 10 on the Buffalo Bills at home on a beautiful Sunday. Oh, come on, man. They're gonna blow them out.
They're gonna blow them out. All right, you take that. All right, all right. I'm not touching that game on that one. Cleveland getting 7 against Cincinnati. It's a division game. I like Cleveland with the 7 points. I don't think they'll win the game, but I like them with the 7. J-GILLZ?
They always play them tough. I agree with you. I'm taking Cleveland with the points, but Cincinnati on the game line.
My pick of the week this week is the over game. Green Bay, Houston at Green Bay. I think it'll be over 48 points or over 50, depending on where you making your bet at. I like the over in the Green Bay. Houston at Green Bay. I think both teams will put points on the board. Love is quietly having an excellent season for the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay know how to find a quarterback. That's one thing. They know how to draft them a quarterback. I like the over in that game, and I think Green Bay will win that game too against Houston because Houston has a little issues there. In Miami at Indianapolis. I want to hear you on this one. Miami at Indianapolis. Miami getting 3 at Indy. What do you think? That's your boys.
I think they're going to lose that game. I'm taking the Colts. Right now the Dolphins, they have a top 3 pass defense, but Anthony Richardson, if he'll play, I think him, Jonathan Taylor, they're going to run the ball as they do. I keen into Josh Allen, how he destroys Miami. I like Anthony Richardson and as that style of quarterback to just run all over the Dolphins. Give me the Colts.
Okay, all right. You heard that one, everybody. You're a Dolphin guys, the Colts. Another big game this week. Detroit at Minnesota, -2. Detroit at Minnesota. This is really a pick'em game.
Oh, yeah, Detroit, Minnesota. I'm going with the Detroit Lions in this division game. Even after the bye week, Minnesota Vikings, excuse me. I think that I'm going with I'm going to roll with Detroit. This is a more physical team against Sam Darnold.
Oh, all right. I like the more physical team, too. I like Detroit in this game. I think it'll be a good one, a good matchup. Take Detroit. That's one of my picks of the week as well. San Francisco, Kansas City.
That's a pick. I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
Rolling with the Chiefs. All right, roll with the Chiefs on that one. I like San Francisco. I think the Chiefs finally going to lose one here. I think San Francisco owed them a victory in this one. Hey, BacSpin, welcome back to the show, BacSpin. How you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
How y'all doing?
Doing all right. Hope you had a great week.
Man, this week in fantasy. I need to get that done.
Nah, man, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. The Mr. Bayou, the Fanatic, already took me down. I can't fall no more, man. I didn't appreciate that at all. Players just underperformed, and I got a lot of players hurt right now. You know, so I'm trying to bounce back. I believe I'm still number 1 in the league, but y'all putting the pressure on me right now.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that Fanatic guy, man. I made a mistake and got rid of Austin Eckler, and he picked him. I went to go get him back, man. He done
picked him right up, huh?
Picked him right up. I'm like, wait a minute.
That boy is focused on the waiver wire.
Yeah, watch that guy.
Yeah, you gotta be prepared. You gotta watch these injury reports.
Quarterbacks. I'm like, I need me a quarterback. Drop AI and drop Caleb. I said, I need me a quarterback. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, he out there. I mean, he's on a bye right now, and I think who I picked up, Richardson.
You dropped Richardson.
No, I picked up Chargers quarterback.
Oh yeah, Herbert. Yeah,
Justin Herbert. He's got a good matchup this week. You know, I'm all about matchups. I'm all about matchups.
I ain't mad at you.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, man!
Yes,
I appreciate y'all.
What week?
Real Deal Sports Show.
6 weeks in, man. Oh my God, we're having a great time with that fantasy league. Good man.
Definitely. Somebody need to call Big James Wilson and tell him to step his game and his team up. I don't know what he's doing out there, man. Hey, that's an easy win. You know what I'm saying? That's an easy win.
Oh, yes, indeed.
He's doing good in the football pick'em league, though. He's doing good in that. I think he's cumulative. I think he's at the top of the leaderboard.
Yes, he is. He's doing real good in that pick'em league. And people get in that pick'em league and let's see what you got out there.
Yeah.
Picking the winners on the website.
Get you a party prize pack from Papa John's worth $70. You know, if you can beat the beat.
There you go. And check us out next week. Remember, continue to be a good sport and check us out each and every week on the Beat 105.5 Real Deal Sports Show. And after the game, after the Bills Titans, check us out on YouTube and Facebook Live with our post game recap. Myself, J-GILLZ, the Mighty Oba, and Mookie Hawkins over there. We'll be doing our post game live on the field after the Bills Titans game tomorrow afternoon.
No doubt. Keep it where you need it. That's the Real Deal Sports Show every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. right here on the Beat 105.5. Coming up, your man's BacSpin. We're going to go back in time, all right? Keep it locked. It's the Beat.